Hello my loves, welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be discussing Vasisthasana, side plank. You all know that I love planks, whether they're regular planks or whether they're side planks. There are just so many variations, but today I want to discuss the basics of how to do a basic side plank, from the modifications and building up into side plank. I'm also going to share the one modification that I want you to stop doing. But before that, I just want to take a moment to say that if you're interested in more plank variations, in more warm-up and prep poses for your planks, if you want a plank strength class, then come join me on Patreon. Each month I do 2 exclusive videos for my Patreon community, and one of this month's classes was all about Vasisthasana. If you're interested, come join now. The link is in the description below. Okay, so I want you to do this with me, so come onto your mat. Now, I've got a little bit of support underneath my knees for my side plank variations, so come onto hands and knees. So as you come onto the hands and knees, send the right leg back behind you and take the right foot out to the right side of your mat. Turn the toes to that long edge so you feel that the right inside edge of your foot is connected to the floor. Bring the left hand in front into the middle of your mat. From the left hip, pivot your left foot to the left side and then lift your right hand so that the right shoulder can stack above the left shoulder and above the left wrist. This would be your modified side plank. If this feels comfortable, think about pushing into your right foot, push into your left hand, and can you lift your left knee away from the floor? If that feels comfortable, can you step your left foot behind your right foot? And if that feels comfortable and you can keep the line from the head to the hips to the heels, can you lift your right foot and stack it on top of your left? And this would be your side plank, Vasisthasana. Come out exactly the same way you went in. Right foot comes forward, left knee comes down, come back to all fours. Now that's Vasisthasana. You can do both sides. Come on to the other side. Hands and knees. Send your left foot back. Turn your left toes out to the left side. Again, feel the inside edge of your left foot connected to the floor. Right hand comes into the middle of your mat. Pivot the right foot to that right edge. Let the left shoulder rise. Shoulder, shoulder, wrists. Maybe that left arm lifts. Maybe the left hand comes to the hip. This might be where you stay, and that's fine. Think again about pushing into your left foot, pushing into the right hand, and as you do that, can you lift your right knee away from the floor? And if that feels good, send your right foot back behind your left. Line, head, hip, heels, wrist, shoulder, shoulder. And then, can you stack the feet and find your Vasisthasana here? Come out exactly the same way that you came in. Unstack, drop the knee, bring yourself back, and take a break. So there are so many different variations from side plank. Once you've got the leg stacked position, there are many progressions from there. So that is not your end point. But for today, I want to leave it at your feet stacked because I could just be talking about side plank for hours. What I do want to talk about is the one variation that I want you to stop doing. If your goal is to build to side plank, I want you to stop doing this version because it doesn't help you build strength in your arm, your upper body, or your core, which is what side plank is all about. So if you come into this modified side plank, quite often you might hear to lift the top leg. This is not working harder in side plank. It's working different. This is more of a deconstruction or modification of half moon pose, Ardha Chandrasana. This is not a great variation for your side plank. If you're working into side plank, you want to work on your core, on this underside portion of your core. So instead, I prefer the variation of pushing into the hand, pushing into the inside edge of your extended leg, and then lifting this bottom knee. Maybe even kind of supporting on the toes here and doing this, rather than this. You try both and let me know which one you think is more challenging. And I'm gonna lay odds on that you're gonna find the variation with the knee lifting much more challenging. Even if it just lifts temporarily, you take 10 seconds with the knee lifted and you build up from there until you can step the foot back. Please, please, please stop doing the variation with the knee on the floor and the foot lifted. It's not effectively working your core, and it's not going to build you the strength that you need to come into full side plank. If you're having any challenges with this pose, then please let me know in the comments down below. What is your kind of challenge about this pose? Is it wrist, hands, arm strength, shoulder strength? Are you kind of struggling with the position of the shoulders, the hips, the legs? What's your challenge in this pose? And maybe I'll address it in a future video. If you enjoyed this video, then give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. And remember, my loves, that karma is only a bitch if you are. So be nice, be kind, and be the change that you want to see in the world.